of changes. Like the weather was different, seeing snow for the first time. Yeah, it was just very different. But then as time went by, we spent like 4 years there before going back home. So we really like developed community, made connections, just adjusted.
And now you live in arguably the biggest city in the world, New York
Yeah,
City.
completely different.
That's insane. I can't honestly. I can't even imagine that kind of transition. Like I grew up on Long Island, so like I've always like been close to the city, and like it's no big deal to me. But like
Yeah.
going into like even going upstate, and like you've traveled a lot in volleyball, so like
Mhm.
going upstate and seeing how different people live and like how rural everything is outside of
Yeah.
like New York City and stuff like that. It's just always a crazy experience to me.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Growing up and transitioning from Rwanda to the United States, um, you're a tall individual. You're 6'5", and you're usually the tallest person in the room, whichever you walk into. So, how have you ever experienced any challenges with that growing up here and in back home in Rwanda?
Yes, not major challenges, I would say, but I have experienced some challenges. Growing up, of course, like I had challenges like with finding clothes, and I still do that now. Like my arms too long for the sleeves. Most of the pants look like capris on me. Like it's that's one of the struggles. But also when I was growing up, there wasn't like sports wasn't as big. It's not as big in Rwanda as it is here. So I never even considered myself to be an athlete. Like that was never an idea in my mind growing up until I went to Utah. So coming to Utah was just like a shock because like everyone was saying like you have to play this sport. There's this hype about it. Like it just like it really becomes your identity, honestly, because you start to take pride in that. Start to take pride in your height because you have a way to use it. Yeah. So
So would you say that now that you've like been accustomed to it and everything like that, would you say like now it's like kind of like a something you wear with honor, like you're proud being 6'5", and
yes, so proud and so grateful. It's like one of those things that you grow up thinking that you just don't like about yourself, and then it becomes like the thing that you love the most. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Honestly, that's beautiful to hear. Um, and growing up with those type of like small little challenges, like you said, like obviously, well, not small, but like growing up with those kind of challenges,
Mhm.
um, who would you say has been the biggest influence in your life, and how did they impact you?
The person that has impacted me in my life is my mom because I think the way that she raised me, the lessons that she taught me, the examples that she showed me, like it really shaped me into the person I am today. And something that I've really started to see as I keep growing up, of course, is just how character is very important. It's very important with like the opportunities you get, the people, like the connections you make, and of course, there's a lot of factors that come into someone's character, but I think it all comes down to like how you were raised, and I think that she did a really good job. So,
That's really cool,
yeah,
really cool. I always love when family's like a big part of somebody's life, and I
yeah.
definitely feel that just talking with you here. Um, back transitioning back to like the sport of volleyball that you play. I have a statistic here, according to the NCAA, actually.
Mhm.
Only 1.2% of female athletes play Division One volleyball,
That's
and
crazy.
it is a crazy statistic. And you're being that 1%.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you saw what happened with Nebraska playing outdoors in the stadium, and
Yes,
that
that was amazing.
90,000 plus sold out.
Hmm.
And so, with women's sports booming right now, how does it make you feel to be able to compete at the highest level and being part of that 1%?
Well, I feel very grateful to be a part of it. I feel so grateful to be a part of this, like to be a part of like it coming up and everything. But I'm also very excited because I don't think volleyball, especially with the stats, 1.2%, I don't think it's as appreciated or put on a pedestal like other sports like basketball or football. And for it to be like getting the recognition it deserves, it's just so exciting for the future and just like what it holds. So very grateful and humble and excited. Yeah.
For sure. And I know. With all the hype and everything about women's sports blowing up right now, there is always that kind of negative connotation when it comes to it too.
Mhm.
And so, what do you say to all those negative people on social media who try to take jabs at women's sports?
Well, I feel like the best answer would be through our actions because as like women keep on doing like amazing things, like outstanding things, I feel like that's the best answer to silence them.
And
Like,
really quickly, like when you see those comments on social media, how does that make you like feel inside and stuff like that? Do you feel like they're just ignorant people just talking out of nonsense?
yes, just it just makes